Have you seen these videos? N8N is dead, OpenAI has just killed N8N, blah blah blah. Those are just clickbait. N8N is a multi-billion-dollar company and they're not going to die anytime soon. In fact, when you combine N8N with other great products like Claude, you can really automate your N8N tasks and create amazing products. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you combine Claude code with MCP. So not sticking a bunch of documents to it, but combining it with MCP server and N8N to create any sort of prompt you want in one go. Totally different from what anyone else is showing you in previous videos where you give it a bunch of documentation. This you can take a screenshot, do it, ask it anything, and it will go out and build that. And I tell you what, N8N is not dead. N8N is just gonna grow a lot more. So really informative video. My name is Altus, I have my own AI agency and we run N8N all the time. Likewise in my school group, bunch of N8N templates, and I tell you now, OpenAI is not even close to what N8N can do. So let's get into this video. You're definitely gonna learn something really cool. It's gonna be step by step, super beginner friendly, getting Claude code, connecting it to 3 amazing MCP servers, and then let it just build out awesome workflows for you by just asking it or sticking in a screenshot. So let's get into this. So I'm going to show you really how this is an amazing system together where we use Claude code with the help of MCP servers and N8N to build any workflows that you can think of, prompt, images, the works, and it just gets better and better. And it's really a newer system, a newer way of doing it with MCP servers rather than just filling up Claude code with examples, as I've done in a couple of videos before. But before we get too far into this, just move Claude out of the way. It's going to be very much about N8N. Now, October, I'm making this video. Agent Kit or Agent Builder by OpenAI came out and everyone jumped on the clickbait jam bandwagon. N8N killer. All right, just here on YouTube, and again, nothing wrong with everyone's videos. Love everyone making good videos. I've learned from a lot of those people here, but Agent Builder, the N8N killer, rest in peace N8N. N8N killer, no more N8N, game over. Okay then, right? So let me quickly show you something just to think about. Google search terms, right? N8N, make.com, Zapier, Agent Builder, and green. Just look at the sheer volume differences, and this is just the last 90 days because obviously it's kind of new. And even when with the release of Agent Builder came in, it did not even get close to what N8N comes in. Zapier is still down here. Make.com totally just falling. You can see 90 days, and we can go from the beginning of logging this, and you'll see N8N and the blue. It's just taken off. Yeah, there's a little dip at the moment. It gets really popular and comes down. That's fine. Not just that, just proof in here. What is the net worth of N8N? Perplexity should be able to find that one for us. As of October 2025, N8N is valued at $2.5 billion. All right, not as big as any of the other things, but it's up there, right? It's really, really up there. So I want to show you how this awesome thing works with Claude code. I just want to make sure that you understand that N8N is not going to go anywhere. In fact, it's just going to get better and more. This was the money raised in October, another 180 million. Here you go. Thank you. Go off and get better in it. So let's go through this. We're going to go step by step, getting Claude code, how to install these awesome MCP servers, connecting up the entire work. So obviously, first thing we need to do is go visit Claude. And all you can do is obviously need a Claude account. Yes, you're going to need that $20 account because we are going to need Claude code and Claude projects. So it's just something important to have, and I'll show you
why later on, but go get yourself a Claude app, Claude desktop app. So step 1, go get Claude, download Claude, and this will work on Mac or Windows. Any one of those, hit the download button, install it, and once it's installed, we'll go to step 2. So once we're done, we'll have something looking like this. I say you're going to need that basic Claude plan at the very least, just because we're going to use Claude Code later on. The Claude projects, and you only get that really when you have a paid plan. But next we need to install Node.js. So don't know what it is, you can just ask what is Node.js. So Node.js, we'll see what it actually says for us. So we'll be interested to see what the explanation is. So what Node.js allows us to do is a backend kind of development program that allows us to run JavaScripts on your local computer. Now, what we're going to need to do is install the MCP, the N8N MCP server using that. So Node.js, and we can actually just ask it. In fact, where can I find the Windows version of this? See if it actually gives us the answer, else it's just going to be all good Dr. Google. But there we go. Node.js, we're going to open the link. And you're going to go just once. And you're going to get Node.js, just a matter of getting it. And we're going to download it for Windows or whichever one you have. Mac, lots of different options here for it. So once you have that, it will download. Click on it and it should pop up on the side. And it's just going to go through and install for you. Easy wizard for it. So go ahead and install that, and we'll go to the next step. Awesome. So next thing we need to do, once it's installed, we need to make sure it runs. So we're just going to come in our terminal, type in command, come from here. Now terminal, don't be scared about it. It might look old and scary. It's going to look very similar if you're on Windows or if you are on Mac. But same thing in here. We need that node-v that will show you a version of it. Nice. So this means we have it installed. So the reason we're installing Node.js, so we have the Java runtime environment, because we're going to start an MCP server on our device that we're going to be able to make requests to, but we're going to use a couple of other MCP servers that include Context 7 and the workflow documentation on it. So really good like that. So we're going to use 3 things in one. So the first things first is we just need to find the N8N MCP server, and all you need to do is actually just look up N8N MCP server, come through in here. Now, if you don't know what an MCP server is, don't overly worry about it. It is just a way of skipping out a lot of automations where the AI large language module will know what parameters to pass through to a server, an MCP server, to get a specific result. So if we had to build this out in a workflow, you would have had to send, for example, a username, send a password, and then it takes a couple of workflows to build, for example, a mail checker. So the MCP service has a way of sending all that information to a large language module and say, I require this, this, and this to give you the output of this. And the large language module gives that, extract that from whatever you said, and create it. Okay, so and the long contents on it. There's the different type of MCP service, the ones that sit local, ones that we're going to reach out to, and we're going to use different ones of it. The N8N MCP server on GitHub, it will tell you how to install it, and we just need to follow these actions right here, and it actually tells you just do this as well. So I'm going to hit that, hit the copy button. I'm going to come back to my terminal, and I'm going to paste that one in there. We're going to let it run for a couple minutes. We're going to say you need to install the following packages. Yes, I want to install that package, please. And it's going to download, install. You might have some dependency issues. Don't worry about it. Just go for the prompts and we'll install things for you. If you're going to be in Linux, you might have to have the right permissions for it. Likewise, sometimes in here as well, but that's all right. Jeez, here we go. The collection with normal usage. So MCP server startup completed. So good. We're gonna move this one off to the side. That's all we need for now. Now, what we're gonna need is this specific part in here. Now, you can copy and paste this. Don't copy and paste this yet, because I'm going to show you exactly what to do. But we're going to use this where this gives us the full configuration. So go open yourself a notepad somewhere. So notepad in here. Have it in ready like this. This is what we're going to use. But we're also going to use a couple of other MCP servers. And that allows us to go check out workflows. So the next one is the N8N Workflow Documentation MCP server. And it's up in here. And it just allows us to make specific requests out to another server in regards to workflow documentation. So you can go in here, Claude Desktop. That's the one we need in here. And then likewise, there's a thing called Context 7. Context 7 is an MCP server that has all the latest information on specific products on it. So just think about it for this example. So we might ask it to build a workflow for us that comes with the latest and OpenAI models. However, the internet in your large language module only knows information from a couple years back, so they might think the latest model might be GPT 4.1, but GPT 5 is out already. However, Context 7 will have that latest information and the latest settings and the parameters on it, so it's a really good up-to-date docs on specific projects. And we need this one. We can go through in here and you can see where's the Claude Code Desktop in here, and we have that settings one in here. So all you need to do is actually just compose the screen right now. Of course, I'm going to show you my one that I have that's got them all put together. So let me bring that up for a second. Right, just had to bring this one up. Now, if you don't know what JSON formatting is, it's a way of formatting things with variables and values. Values can be strings, parameters, a lot to go with it, but it's a very specific format in it where spaces and end lines go on. So make sure you screenshot this and then give it to ChatGPT and say, give me this JSON version, because it will give the copy in the right way. If it doesn't work, you can always ask ChatGPT to try your JSON. For example, if there's a space, but you press enter or enter instead of a space or a tab instead, then the formatting goes all wrong because you can't see that characters. But this is what you need. This is going to allow us up in here, and we'll get to these parts very soon, to connect our N8N with our server right here. And this is going to allow for the docs. This is going to allow for Context 7. So how do we set up Claude Code? So we're going to come back, not Claude Code. We're going to use Claude Desktop. Now come back in here, scroll all the way up, and we'll go through in configuring this part right here, which is a file you need to configure. For some reason, when I hit the file edit option, the video completely stopped. But what you do on the right hand side is in here. You click on here, you're going to come to file. We're going to come to settings. Now, if you do not have this, when you come down to developer, you will have everything blank in here. And I'll show you soon in the video. Once you have these set up and running, it shows that it's running, so it means you're good to go, but you won't have anything in here. Now, you're going to do is hit the edit button in here. Now, whichever one you have, if you have Windows or if you have Mac, it will all have a desktop config file in here, and all you got to do is edit this file. So either right click edit, or if you have a program installed like VS Code, we can have that one in here, and obviously you'll have a blank file in here initially, and I'll go through the next part about what to paste in. And again, it's just a matter of screenshotting this and we're pasting that in. So let's go in with the rest of the video. So when your log file opens, it's going to have a bit of a blank in here. I'm going to hit the paste button. Now, earlier on when I did the screenshot, it actually missed a couple of things in here. So really make sure you pause it and copy this one. I think the old one that I showed you has the error, and sometimes when you do screen copies to GPT models, it misses the dashes for exclamation marks. So it gets a bit confused sometimes. So really make sure you pause this, you cut this in. See if I can zoom this in for you as well. Make sure you copy and paste this. Copy the exact code in. Not even just delete this for a second. So let me hit the save in here. And if I just go and delete this line, make it a bit shorter for you. So you just need to put your API key in here, but sure you copy paste this, put it in GPT and say, write the Claude code in here. But anyway, let's just shut this one. Hopefully it didn't save it. I don't think it should have saved it. Ah, no, it did. File, save. In fact, no, it didn't. It's just VS Code that remembers it. Anyway, we're going to come back into Claude. We're going to say file, exit this one. So make sure you say file, exit. Don't just shut it because it puts it in the background. Okay, so we need to make sure you restart Claude Code. Come in here. And do we have it in here? Let's see, it loads a little bit. No errors show up, and a great way to see if this is working is you kind of come back in here. We're going to come back to settings and developer, and here we go. Nice. All our servers are running and good to go. Sweet awesomeness. Now, if you have done everything this far and you have a normal Claude project, I'm not sure if you can do this without an actual Claude paid account. But what you want to do is come to Claude projects. We're going to say new project, and we're going to say this is the N8N MCP Workflow Builder. Build N8N workflows through the N8N MCP. Right, create project. Nice instructions. It actually gives it to us. It's so good. You come back in here, just one down here. You're going to scroll down, and you need to have a quick squiz over it. Don't worry about those. Cool code projects. So I'm going to copy this. In fact, there's a copy button there. Hit that copy button. But it just gives a bit of instructions about how to work through it. And it's got a bit of a workflow to it, what it should do. So example, workflow, step 1, step 2. Sweet. That works really, really well. Now, all we have to do is come back to Claude Desktop. We're going to come back in instructions in here, and we have that, paste that in here. And we're going to hit save. And we're actually ready to go. Now, you can be lazy with your prompting in here, and we're going to try that. And then I'm going to show you a really good prompt to use. And just to double check, also what we need to do is, and let me try zoom this a little bit, and for us, so we have a better view of it. I don't know if the actual plus button works. Oh yeah, it does. So what we need to do is also just make sure we click down here, and we can see all our MCP tools are on here. Make sure you flick them on if they're not on, and this actually, when you go into it, will show you all the options that's in here. But what you should do when you're going to prompt this out is you should have a goal. So what you want to achieve with this workflow. Then from there, you're also going to go to what's going to be the trigger. And we're going to work through your AI agent and maybe output. And say, then we have a final thing that says something very similar to at the end. give me the full workflow. Now if we go back to, let's go back to N8N. N8N.io, and I think it gives you like an example here in the front. Okay, so you have alright, we'll go find something easier than this. But what we're going to do is we're going to come from here. It was going to say a chat module. I'm going to say goal. So our goal is going to be, and don't push enter, don't get mistaken with that. But our goal is going to be, and maybe it's always good to just run it in here. So and either just open this in here, and I'm just going to say this for a second. I'm going really slow. The N8N websites always can make things really slow for me. So what we have is hash goal. The goal is going to be create a website chat module. Hash trigger chat module trigger that goes to a AI agent. That hash AI agent. The AI agent connects to OpenAI GPT 4.1. It has simple memory. It has no other tools. Response. The response should go back to the chat module. Right. Give me the flow using the MCP service. Right, let's put us to the test, see how well it goes in here, and here, and we're gonna hit that off, and let's just see what happens. So it should do a bunch of connections for us. Let me pull this. Oh, come on. I'm trying to make the chat a little bit smaller. So it's making all this. I always want to allow these connections out. And I can see, let's pull this up a little bit. So it's going to go through, search its metadata, and you can see what it does. And the first time you allow this, it's going to work all the other times. It's just going to go through, do its thing, always allow these. So it's just allowing all the connections to all the servers. Thinking, getting templates, searching for templates. Is there a template like that already? Then what it doesn't like about this, error executing search templates. No, it just might not have any of that previously in there. So that allow. Now, the more you do this, the more your Claude project is going to go. The more it's going to grow, the more information it's going to have, the smarter it's going to get. It's going to go through one. So great. Now let's begin the module. Sweet. Here we go. And it should connect back to our N8N server as well. So perfect. I can see that GPT 4.1 is available. It's really just cool how it's thinking if you're all into this. Else, just pause, come back, put the fast forward on. What we're going to do is we're just going to search some really good N8N servers, then take a screenshot. So, in fact, while all that's running, let's come back to N8N. Must be built in React or something because it just makes everything on my computer so slow. So we're going to templates, and we're going to find a cool template in here. What is this one like? Now, bad example because you can actually just copy and paste the entire template from in here, but what I can do is I'm just going to go through in here. How do I make this bigger? I want to take a good screenshot of this. So zoom, zooming to 200% in here, and I'm gonna do this. I know, I'll come back before we screenshot it. Too many things at once. See what's happening. Allow this. So still just building it out. And this should build in automatically into our N8N for us. This is what the good thing. The trigger node is available in the menu config. What I'll do is I'll pause. And we'll come back to this once it's done. Alright, so it's gone through, it's done its things, it's looked through it all. Then based on your template by Chris, it's found a template from Chris. Here it has actually gone and created it for us. Now we're gonna go through in here and we're gonna tell it create the workflow in our N8N server for us. Create the workflow in our N8N server for us. So we're going to give it a second and see if that actually works. Thinking about configuring the automation, preparing your data for your server, and we're going to allow this. And what this does, it should give us the ability to actually write this in here. So we're going to allow, oops. So what it's going to do, and if you would have set it up at the start, this is what the JSON format of it should look like. And we're going to come through and make it, put it in for us. Creating a workflow, fixing the connections. Come on, N8N. Alright, so it's gone for its stuff. It says workflow created successfully. We're going to access it up here. So we're going to say open our link. And we'd love to know what it's called. Workflows, website chat module. Here it is, and it should be a bit basic. Yeah, nice. What? That's what it is. Simple memory. We just need to configure our OpenAI module in here. That's done. It's working right. You are a helpful AI assistant. They haven't changed anything. And it's yeah, open chat. Hello. And there it goes. Right? So it just amazes me. It works first time through. So let's go test out a more advanced one to see how this actually works. So it does take a little bit longer, and that's okay. It gets it right the first time. So we are gonna go, and instead of doing that one, we're gonna go new chat in our projects. We're gonna come to the build N8N workflow, and we are gonna come through in here, and I'm gonna screenshot this. Now, on purpose, I'm missing out a lot of things. It's gonna struggle with those, but let's see what happens here. Let's see. This is gonna be exceptionally difficult for it. And I'm gonna say this is a screenshot of a workflow. Create it in my N8N server. All right. Don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a go. We're going to pause it. It is going to take a lot longer for it. Like I say, it's going to be quite interesting to see if it can actually do that. And if it does, I'll be pretty good. One shot prompt earlier on. So let's see how this one actually goes. So I'll stop this and we'll come back once it's all done. So just while that loads, please go check out the actual paid school group in here. Obviously, lots of information in here, lots of things to go in and go through. You get a bunch of free stuff, including Go High Level as well. Lots of free products in the classroom. Again, we'll go in here in the classroom, and you'll be able to see there's a bunch of learning modules in here ready for you to learn everything from creating a product to doing outreach, even to doing sales. So please do make sure you go check that out. So I'll just go in here. So it's been a while, and all right, look like it's done. Let's go here. Did it post it out? It says Angie's personal assistant. So Telegram request AI assistant. Huh. Oh, right. Let's do this. All right. What on earth? There you go. I'm actually speechless. I don't even get tasks. Like, I've never actually seen these tasks. Right. Actually speechless. I did it. Okay, so yeah, really awesome way of doing it. Yeah, Claude code. There you go. Claude N8N. One of those N8N is dead kind of things doesn't work. What we used to have to do is in N8N in here, I had a project called Claude Code to Image, Claude Code Anything, N8N tools. So I had all these N8N projects set up. And what you had to have done is add a lot of files in there for it, okay? And then it builds out a workflow for you. So whether it's with images as well, but it builds out a JSON format so to go through and copy and paste that. So this is what it would have had to look like. I can copy that. And I can go through in here and I can like paste that, and it creates a JSON file for us as well. So it does that. It does a lot of the same stuff. This is just better because it actually goes out. It's an actual connected to the MCP server, so it's always updated. You get the latest, and Context 7 is in there for you. It's just so good. All right, I think it's just an amazing system. So I hope it makes sense. It's cool. N8N is still going to rule the world, I think, until anything better comes along. Not anytime soon, I think. So I hope you like this. Hope you follow. Hope you subscribe, and yeah, talk to you all later.